Title: Wife cheated with 5 sailors and the captain during our anniversary cruise, while I lay sick in the cabin. Anniversaries are supposed to remind you why you fell in love in the first place. For me, it was meant to be a celebration of 10 years of marriage. A decade of loyalty, laughter, and shared dreams. My wife Lauren had planned the whole thing. A week-long cruise through the Caribbean. It sounded perfect. Warm sun, blue waves, cocktails at sunset. I couldn't have imagined how wrong I was. The first 2 days were everything I hoped for. We danced on the deck, watched dolphins chase the ship, and toasted to forever. Lauren was radiant, playful, charming, full of life. People gravitated toward her, especially the crew. I didn't mind at first. She had that kind of energy, magnetic, effortless. But by the 3rd night, something felt off. I'd come down with a brutal stomach bug. Maybe it was the seafood or the heat, but I couldn't keep anything down. The ship's doctor told me to rest, hydrate, and stay in the cabin for at least 24 hours. Lauren kissed my forehead and said she'd bring soup later. Don't worry, babe. I'll just check out the deck party and come right back. That was around 7 p.m. She didn't return that night. When I woke the next morning, the sheets beside me were still cold. My phone had a text from her. Didn't want to wake you. Crashed with some people from the bar. Get some rest, okay? Something in my gut twisted, and it wasn't just the sickness. Lauren wasn't the type to crash anywhere without me. Still, I gave her the benefit of the doubt. The next day, she came back wearing a new swimsuit I hadn't seen before. Navy blue, with little gold anchors. When I asked where she'd gotten it, she smiled casually. Gift from the crew, she said. The crew? She laughed. Yeah, the captain and his boys thought it would be funny. Don't worry, it's just a joke. I wanted to believe her. I really did. But as the cruise went on, I noticed a change. Every time she left the cabin, it was with a different excuse. Yoga on the upper deck, a trivia game, drinks with the staff. Every time she came back later, a little more distant. The night before our anniversary dinner, I woke to the sound of faint laughter outside our cabin door. I dragged myself up, weak but restless, and pressed my ear against the wood. Voices. Hers, unmistakable. And several others. Men's voices. At first, I thought maybe it was harmless, maybe she'd made friends, and they were just talking. But then I heard something that froze the blood in my veins. Keep it down, Lauren whispered, laughing softly. He's sleeping inside. A man's voice followed, deep and teasing. You sure? Don't want to wake your husband. Another chuckle joined in, then another. I counted 1, 2, 5 voices in total. My hand clenched around the cabin handle. For a moment, I wanted to throw the door open and end it right there. But something in me hesitated. Years in marriage teach you one thing. Once you open a door like that, you can never close it again. I stood there, silent, listening as their laughter faded down the hall. My body was burning, part fever, part fury. I waited until morning before stepping out. The hallway smelled of salt and cheap cologne. When I reached the deck, the crew greeted me with polite nods. Except for one group by the bar. 6 men in uniform, laughing among themselves. The captain was with them. And sitting beside them, with a drink in her hand and a glow on her face, was Lauren. She didn't see me at first. I watched her laugh at something the captain said. The kind of laugh she hadn't given me in months. When she finally noticed me, her expression faltered for just a second before she plastered on a smile. You're up, she said too cheerfully. Feeling better? I nodded, my throat tight. A little. You didn't come back last night. She shrugged. You were sleeping. I didn't want to disturb you. Who were you with? Her smile wavered. Just the captain and some of the guys. We played cards. Don't be so dramatic. Dramatic? That word hit me like a punch. I excused myself before I said something I'd regret. I spent the rest of the day wandering the ship, trying to calm down. I told myself not to assume the worst. But that night I couldn't sleep. Around 2 a.m., I decided to step outside for air. That's when I saw it. Down below, near the restricted crew deck, a group was gathered by the hot tub. The moonlight was faint, but I could see enough. Lauren was there, her hair loose, her laughter carried by the wind. She sat between 2 men, their arms draped around her shoulders like she belonged to them. The captain leaned in to whisper something, and she tilted her head back, smiling. My stomach turned. I wasn't sick anymore. I was sick of her. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I went back to the cabin, my heart pounding. Every image burned into my mind. I lay awake until dawn, the ship rocking gently like it was mocking me. 10 years of marriage, and this was how she celebrated it. By morning, I'd made my decision. No shouting, no public scene. Just quiet, cold clarity. I gathered her things into her suitcase, folded her clothes neatly, and placed her wedding ring, which she'd left on the bathroom counter, right on top. When she finally stumbled into the cabin around 9 a.m., she looked startled to see me dressed and ready. You're up early, she said, her voice hoarse, eyes hidden behind sunglasses. Yeah, I replied evenly. Didn't get much sleep. You. She hesitated, then shrugged. I was just hanging out. Making friends. Don't look at me like that. Friends. I repeated. Is that what you call spending the night with 5 sailors and the captain? Her face drained of color. What are you talking about? I didn't answer. I just turned the laptop toward her. She froze. During the night, I'd done what I did best, observe. From my cabin window, I'd captured everything with the small surveillance camera I'd packed out of habit. The laughter. The drinks. The way she let them touch her. Every second was right there on the screen. Lauren, I said quietly. I've seen a lot of people destroy themselves in my line of work, but I never thought I'd watch my own wife do it. She tried to speak, but the words died in her throat. I didn't give her another chance. I closed the laptop, zipped her bag, and opened the door. You can stay in the captain's quarters if you want. Seems like that's where you belong. She didn't follow me when I left. The cruise ended 2 days later. I walked off that ship alone, the salty wind cutting against my face like justice. I didn't look back. When we got home, I filed for divorce the next morning. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I simply erased her from my life, the way she'd erased our vows. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that the captain was fired for misconduct. The sailors were reassigned. Lauren tried to reach out, emails, texts, even a letter. I didn't read a single one. Our 10th anniversary was supposed to remind me of what we'd built together. Instead, it showed me what I'd been blind to all along, that loyalty means nothing to someone who's addicted to attention. So now, every time I see the ocean, I don't think of her laughter or our promises. I think of that ship, the night sky, and the moment I realize that sometimes love doesn't sink. It jumps ship first.